Reading 35 from the Psychological Commentaries on the Teaching of Gurdjieff and Ouspensky by Dr. Maurice Nicoll, Volume 2, Birdlip, August 20th, 1944. Continuation of Commentary on Real Will. Let us return again to the question of will and what it might mean to have real will. As you have seen, real will, or real I, which alone has real will, or master, comes down from a higher level. As we are, with many conflicting I's in our personality, we have only that quality of will that is the result of their different small personal wills. It seems necessary to say again that real will, or real I, or master, comes down from above. Let me ask you this question. Have you formed any idea of what this means, or have you had any trace of experience of it? When we make up our minds, it is really the different I's in us that do this. Now, when you make up your mind, as it is called, you follow the ideas of little I's. Real will, however, is above them and operates through quite different ideas. What does above mean? Above is the same as inner. What is inner in you? Today I want to speak of what is inner, that is above or higher. What is higher is inner. The higher influences coming from the ray of creation are inner in you. The outer part, the personality, this Mrs. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, are under outer influences, relatively the lowest in the ray. To climb the ray, and now I speak of the side octave coming down from the sun, to climb it is to become more internal in everything you think and feel and do and say. What does this mean, to become more internal? From what do you act and feel and think? Yes, I think this is a very good thing for everyone to reflect upon. Let us take a person who wishes to get attention, who is vain, and from vanity wishes to get on in the work, and behaves in certain ways with this aim in view. From what is this person acting? Is this person acting from personality or not? Well, what do you think? Now, can this give anything in the work? Of course not. Yes, but why not? Here we come up against the very work itself and its real meaning. The work is to weaken personality and to make what is real in us, that is, essence, grow. Do you think that if you act in the work in such a way as to get some advantage, some place, and so on, your efforts will be any good in the work sense? I do not see how. In view of all the work teaches, this can be expected. However, one may ignore the teaching of the ideas of the work and make an aim that is entirely from personality and so useless for any growth of essence. Now I wish to talk rather seriously to all of you. First, everything pseudo, everything pretended, everything false, is of no use in the work. To reach anywhere, to get anything, you must be sincere with yourself. You must have inner sincerity, and that means that at least you must be able to detect by self-observation when you are not genuine, as far as you can at your level. When you try to make will from an insincere basis, that is, insincere for oneself at one's present level, you will not touch essence, and so not real I, which is close to essence. I often think now how remarkable it is to ponder alone with oneself the meaning of the work and all esotericism, and notice what in one's being wishes it genuinely. Everyone enters the work with his or her personality at full blast. For a long time everything is mixed up. I know this very well myself. Later, one begins to think those more inner thoughts about the whole matter. And here is where a person is close to sounding dough, or not. To sound dough is to value the work with inner sincerity. Yes, but what does this mean, to value the work? It means you do all that you can call you. Yes, but that sounds vague. This is right. How many years does it take to sound dough strongly, more deeply? You may catch a glimpse and sound a weak dough, partly through another force. That is a good thing. But this weak dough is easily caught away elsewhere, as it were, by trials, so the dough is not yet a real starting point. The work begins in you when you have to struggle for it yourself and keep it alive for and by yourself, because all that is best in you really wants it and feels a loss if it is not present. People can think they have sounded a genuine dough and have as yet done nothing of that kind. When you are in false personality, everything you do is outer, superficial, for the sake of attention, self-interest, or praise, or merit. This is outer, and so lower. What then does inner or higher mean? It means something very interesting once you begin to see. It means a continual struggle in yourself to get to what is real and to discard the pretended and invented side. Here one enters a sort of desert in which one is tempted a great deal in regard to the work itself. Now I wish to speak about the place will comes from, ordinarily speaking. Can you will what you know? As you know, lying destroys essence. This is only another way of saying that essence can only grow through what is sincere in you. We take a long time to connect the work with life and what happens every day to us in life and our reactions to what happens. For a long time there is a gap between the practice of the work and one's actual life and behavior. One sees people taking what happens to them in life as if it has nothing to do with the work, and one sees people obviously entranced by their imagination of what life should be like, and their reactions to their imagination. In both cases, the important thing is non-identifying. Certainly it is difficult and long work. It is difficult to wake up. We have to connect the work with our daily lives. One cannot dream of the work or dream one is a conscious person. However, the imagination can satisfy every center and part of a center, and continue to do so for a long time. We were once told to try to use imagination actively, as for instance, to imagine what it would be like to be conscious, to visualize it, and then to will it. There is a certain kind of necessary inner persuading of oneself that has to do with the directed imagination. And so, with deliberate visualization, it tends to create something definite. However, this cannot be spoken of at present. You remember something was said of this in connection with the reins between driver and horse. Now, as regards the place of origin and the quality of will, originating from outer eyes in false personality, is of no value. Again, so-called will from daily, momentary small eyes, which have short memories and go to sleep, will soon vanish. We must found will on something better and deeper. Now that is a quite wrong phrase. Did you notice it is? You cannot found real will. You must attract it because it comes from above. That is, from within, from deeper thoughts and feelings. But since to pray is very difficult, and requires a very great intensity and sincerity, we must find out some other preliminary way of gaining access to real I, or will. It was said last time that the Master cannot speak to us directly but only through the ideas of the work, and unless the work is already represented in our understanding, we cannot hear real I. The first thing is to try to understand the work and what it is about and what its background is and why it is necessary and has always existed, why B influences exist, and so on. This is the first step to attract real will. No one can do anything like this from vanity, from false personality, which is the most outer, most turned to life side. Since real will or master is internal to us, as we are now psychologically, internal to all the things we say and feelings we have, internal to all jealousies and troubles and identifications and account making, since real will lies deep to all this tossing sea of oneself, it is necessary to observe oneself as the starting point, for self-observation means that you begin to move inwards, behind yourself, deep to the surface upon which you have tried to find the full meaning of your life.